Dang, that light is bright. Oh, uh, yeah. It's a beautiful night out. Beautiful clear sky. All kinds of awesome stars out. Plus, I've seen some crazy crafts flying around. And I'm not sure what the heck these orb things are, man. Because, seeing too much of that. Uh, now that I got these glasses, too, I can really see, like, so much better. But I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, man, I think it's May 1st. I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's like so much is happening. It's like time's all compressed and condensed into this blobby goo mess. Ever since they've been messing with CERN, I'm telling you. It's awesome, though, in a way, too. It's exciting times. But May 1st, uh, I gotta think of some things here. All right, the French. Uh, Basically, in France, this is related to the let them eat cake situation where they were guillotining people in France. How it was all orchestrated by some connivers, basically. And same thing over here in America, even. There is tales also that with the French came knowledge of black magic and things of that nature, like super evil, bad medicine. You know what I'm saying? Kind of made my hand tingle just even mentioning that for some reason, but uh, it's like these riots shit that's going on, you can tell this shit is orchestrated, it's engineered to some extent, probably a high extent. Plus, the use of agent provocateurs, uh, and that damn man, I felt like someone was in the back seat, man. This is creeping me out even thinking about all this stuff. But agent provocateurs, you got orchestrated mayhem, controlled chaos, just like in France in those days in that French Revolution. So I'm saying that they have a culture of subversionism. You know what I'm saying? And infiltration and gaining intelligence and engineering social situations in a way that you can sway people uh, to an engineered end and design. So you got to be careful of all this stuff and not get swept up in the mayhem. You know what I'm saying? On Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. You know what I'm saying? Uh, and here's something I wanted to bring into consideration and remembrance as well. Uh, that the one of the ways they took China down way back in the day, uh, through trading people, basically trading companies, is they started engineering a dope game situation with opium, and they started getting it and kind of pushing it on people and like making addicts basically, and it helped destabilize the situation, and it was a way to initiate drug war martial law type implementations because there was a point where they would hang you, they'll chop your head off, they'll shoot you in the head if they caught you getting high. Uh, and could you see this happening again when we know that they're over in Afghanistan guarding the damn dope right now? You know what I'm saying? And using the drug war as a way to, like just assault the whole everywhere. You know what I'm saying? All at once, man. Just because people are gonna get swept up in the flood of the engineered disaster. I mean, look, like I said, this is a good documentary. It's called Mr. Untouchable. Uh, I think it was made by you know, one of the Rockefeller people. You know what I'm saying? Not that I don't too much agree with everything about them guys, but that was a well put together movie though. It was like one of those shows you watch on like biography channel about gangsters, like you know, and it's very revealing about how things really work, you know, and just how crazy it just is, man. So you got, I, it's like, and at the same time, here's another thing about that opium China situation. The same people that built the railroads who use the China people use the same system here in America. And supposedly they use the money from that to make all the organizations that made the first colleges. So there's your connection to the dialectic, even from the beginning of that one. That's what I'm saying. It's just like things things normally end the way they start, man. If they start off on the wrong foot, a lot of times they end up on the wrong foot. It's just the way things work, and it's just it's a reflection of the people behind things. You know what I'm saying? It gives you a darker view of things because that's what's really going on. What I'm saying by darker view is you see how dark people are and how dark the institutions have been in just not too many years past. Like, the mass Indian genocide, so often forgotten, only happened, man, like 100 and something years ago. You know what I'm saying? That's not that long ago. And God says the blood of the murdered cry out from the earth. You know what I'm saying? Think about that once in a while. Put that into remembrance. You know, and it's real out here. So, and that's another Mayday, engineered, genocidal, democidal instance in history. You know what I'm saying? That's why they don't talk about it much because it's deep. Hitler modeled his extermination policy on American Indian policy, and the reservation policy is uh, the same policies that they're trying to implement on us all through Agenda 21. You can look into that. You can also look into peace treaties with the Indians. How look, they got people to sign treaties and they never adhered to them. I mean, the New World Order is like a peace treaty for everyone, but I mean, it's if you look at the Indians, it just means the reservation, and you can look into that if you would like, and you can see the statistics there and how. I'm not going to say it's always bad for everyone. You can argue the Indian money situation. That doesn't. Uh, I mean that's not everyone's not a partaker of that. So don't just think we're all everyone's got any advantage for it. Sometimes it's tough. It's tough out here with that, knowing that, having to remember that. Because I mean, here's the thing: you got to remember your history. I mean, I think that's part of, even if you love God, you're following God, you're gonna remember your history. You know what I'm saying? That's part of knowing, and preaching on it. You know, or not preaching, but I mean just repeating it, just proclaiming it is what I really meant. Proclaiming isn't preaching necessarily. It's just proclaiming things because things that are true, man, should be proclaimed. You know what I'm saying? It's like I think the Bible even says things like shout it from the rooftop. You know what I'm saying? How often do you get on your rooftop and shout out? I mean, I don't either, but I mean, I do get up there now. Look at the, you know, get a different vantage point for a minute. Uh, but yeah, man, it's just like it's a pleasure, man, to just uh have real talk about issues, about everything, about it, just about anything. Some topics, man, just should be avoided, you know. But it's like I always got time for real talk. Someone wants to have a real deep conversation about things. I'm always game for that. I don't like to do small talk. I don't even watch TV no more. I ain't got time for it. Uh, I could either be reading, I could be studying, I could be getting myself informed, keeping up on the geopolitical instability situation. Because you gotta keep your eye on things. You can't depend on anyone to come tell you these days, and you can't. You gotta do what you can do. You know, there's other people out here getting down, so you just do what you can do, and make the most of your time, I guess. Because it's like if you look back at all these crazy agendas and the lengths and the extremes that they went through to dominate different groups of people, man, it's just you got to keep your eye on things, or that happens again. You know what I'm saying? and I'm seeing all these different strategies all being used at the same time right now, and it's crazy. It is like the Blitzkrieg, the lightning strike, like by land, by sea, and by air, basically. And now they've probably even got the subterranean terrain covered, so they could do a quadruprong. You know what I'm saying? Uh, they're gonna crack open that damn pit. You see how all these holes are opening up now that they're messing with this CERN? Now I'm hearing they got multiple CERNs all around the planet, all trying to fire up at the same time and seeing. I mean, that is crazy. You know what I mean? It's like they literally are trying to. They're trying to do something sinister, or wild the deception. You know what I'm saying? And you see this kind of like dark, destructive religious zeal that all these people that work there at CERN got on their faces, man. Like they're all like weirded looking, like they're under mind control, like it's a cult, like they're all Scientologists or something. But and they're trying to bring forth their, their lord from the volcano or something. I mean, it's deep in the hood out here, dude. It's reptilianoid shapeshifter, angelic wars, beasts and powers and principalities, man. And, tactics and deceptions, man, and wickedness in high places. That's what happens when wickedness is high in high places. That's what happened in the opium wars, the engineered first drug war. You know what I'm saying? And the drug wars was used against black people back in the day. Uh, like they said, black men on cocaine would rape white women. I mean, this was down in the South. I'm just saying, this is one of the ways that they use different platforms to attack minority groups, or keep them adhering to a stricter law than this other people that supposedly serve and administer it. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep your eye on these things, or they'll become unaccountable, and they'll become like a mafia that you got. They'll be always looking for tribute. You know, so you got to be careful with these things, and uh, and then you also got to see that it's like who's the real victim in these situations when it was engineered from high places and strategized by men with money and advantage. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but yeah, I just wanted to bring in remembrance all these different topics here because it's relevant to the day and the spirit of in the land that's in America right now. It's rebellious, riotous, tumultuous, clamoring, and riotous uh, generation. It's just like total purge, total nihilism, total. I ain't even gonna say anarchy, man, because it's worse than it. It's pandemonium, mayhem, uh, just straight. It's punctified. What I'm seeing, and I see false flaggery, provocateurism, and facilitation, agitation operation, bait operations, psychological operations. I mean, Jade Helm is all about psychological ops. What if 90% of this is all or optical illusion, psychological ops to make you believe that, you know what I'm saying, things are more unstable than they really are. It's just they want to flip regimes, so they got to pretend that the old one's broke, so that you need to demand a way to fix it, and they've already had these things, planned out. It's deep. That's what's going on. It's like let them have cake. You know what I'm saying? Basically, type situation. But yeah, like yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. It's